You got to be a cattleman. You got to watch. If you're a cattleman, you can see it and you know the benefits you're getting. My name's Bret Argyle. I'm located in Randolph, Utah, about 5 miles north of there, just along the highway. I actually heard about Riomax probably 20 years ago. I'd heard about it a little bit here and there. I hadn't looked into it a lot. It's when I was ranching full time, and called on it one time. Decided I couldn't afford the price of it to bring a whole truck out. That was before they had the dealers and all that. And then there's a guy in Cokeville named Fred Roberts that was telling me about it. He called me. We'd opened this store and he said they were looking for a dealer. He'd been on it for a few years, and Fred's a pretty sharp guy, and I thought, well, if it's something he thinks we need to look into, we ought to look into it. And so that's next thing you knew, we had Trevor here and decided to become dealers, and we've been doing it for about 5 or 6 years, I think. The big thing they noticed, they like the way their cows look. They says you can just see a difference. They're shinier, they seem healthier. Another comment I hear, the word I hear a lot is content. They says after they've been on it for a month or so, they says they don't meet us at the gate, you know, when you're going in to feed them. They a lot of times within 6 weeks they'll start cutting back. Now these are the guys that are feeding the way they're supposed to feed. They're feeding 30-35 pounds of hay. They go on the tubs. They will, within about 6 weeks, they'll cut back down about 5-10 pounds. And that adds up pretty fast. Now I've got other guys that are trying to hold them at 25 pounds. They're not going to see any hay savings, but the cows are doing a lot better. I have one individual that told me, he says, my cows look better than they ever have. I haven't saved any hay, but I wasn't feeding as much as I should have to begin with. So he can see it even though he shorted them, you know, he was shorting them a little bit. It definitely is a good product. I do a lot of freezer beef for people, and I do feed it to them. We put them on the Riomax, and then I feed them, they get about 5 pounds of grain a day a head. And that, which isn't, you know, it's not pushing them hard, but it seems to be enough to keep them gaining. I think they're breaking that feed down so they're getting more out of it. And we mix corn, and we put some soybean, there's some barley in there. And then I put in alfalfa pellets, and it seems to really seems to work. We've been doing it for about 10 years, and everybody seems really happy with the meat they get. Because I think it makes a difference on how they process the grain and the feed. They're getting more out of it. You know, we feed them for about 90 to 100 days on that. And it's probably in my mind, but I swear the meat is a little better taste, a little more flavorful, and I attribute that to they're getting more out of the feed that they're eating. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but in my mind, that makes sense. The gain is incredible. We can put these in here. The ones we just finished, we put them in at about 980 pounds, and when we killed them, they were about 1,300 pounds in just under 90 days. So whatever that translates out to, they put on a lot of weight fast. And the butcher that kills them for us says, he's told me several times, he says, your meat is the best looking meat we kill. And so I got some of that's got to go back to Riomax. Why or how, I don't know, but it's got to. Our grass hay through here is basically going to be 8%, give or take a couple of percent. It's going to fill them up, give them some energy, but it's not the best. I think if you supplement them with Riomax and you can hold them on the percentage, and what we tell guys is, if you can, when you come home off the range in the fall and you're coming into the meadows, get them on the tubs so that they've got that in their system while they're eating the grass. And then as you get into winter, I tell them, try to hold them at what you want to hold them on for pounds per head per day. And then, you know, you got to be a cattleman. You got to watch. If they need a little more, give them a little more. But I feel like those guys are making it pay because they don't get that stomach stretched out and try and cut them back down. If you're doing that and you're not having to buy alfalfa, you know, most guys are on a mineral program. This will take care of your mineral program. Yeah, I think it pays for itself. Now, even if you break even, you're still ahead because there's a lot of benefits there that I don't know how you factor them in, but if you're a cattleman, you can see it and you know the benefits you're getting. You know your cows. And some of that stuff, I don't know how you write it down and how you prove it. But if you're paying attention, you can see it. The cows milk better, the calves seem healthier. I've had guys tell me the calves, it's just amazing how much faster they come off the ground when they've been on Riomax. One day there were about 50 calves around them tubs. And he said, look at them, you know, it was in the spring, there was a snowstorm going on, them calves were healthy as could be. So yeah, I'm a believer in it. If you've got a place where a cow's got to go out and pick a little bit, I don't think there's a better supplement on the market.